And it's allowed me to address some of those tricky questions of, racial tensions and how, who can you trust and how do you know if they're good?
Yeah, and you can trust in your family. And family is also very important, the bond of sisters and brothers and half brothers and half sisters. And that's very important for you, and, personally, but also in the books. And in the society, it's also an issue, an important issue, because in Germany, I don't know how it is in the US, but in Germany, marriages are divorced at 50%, and for the children, it's very hard.
Yeah.
And what do you have a message in your books? Probably not, but you are talking about the importance of family.
I can't avoid it because family's been so important to me. Yeah. But the funny thing is, I've had people read my books and say, "Oh, Christopher must have a really screwed up family because look at what Aragon's family. They're killing each other and they're half brothers here and brothers, cousins and." The funny thing is, I have a very happy family, and I had a very traditional upbringing with a mother and a father and my sister, and the family was never split up. But the thing is that I would never tell anyone to stay with a family that was abusive or that was hurting them in some way. But if you have people that you trust and that you can hold close to you, and that's really what makes life worth living in many ways. And that support system can allow you to do things you would never be able to do otherwise, like self-publish a massive fantasy book. My family has provided enormous support for me over the years, and I could never have done this without them. And I think it's telling that the oldest corporations in the world, family-owned corporations in the world, are Japanese and Italian.
Oh.
Yeah. In both those cultures, family is
till nowadays
paramount.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, especially in the United States, has been lost a little bit because people move so much that you end up with your family scattered all across the country, and it is hard to maintain those bonds.
Yeah, but you maintain these bonds also writing, because Angela is based on your sister, and Roran is based on your dad. I read somewhere.
Bram and Roran are both based on my dad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the inspiration for these persons are coming from your family, but also from other friends. Where does the inspiration come when you write? You finish now the 4th volume.
It's a mixture. I don't really like basing characters too closely on real people, but for example, Roran's single-minded dedication to protecting his fiancée and wife, Katrina, and rescuing her when she's kidnapped. That's what my dad would have done if something had happened to my mom. That's what he's like. In the case of my sister, fortunately, she has a very good sense of humor, or else I wouldn't be sitting here right now. But she's actually very much like her character in the book. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but not much.
Okay.
She and I actually just collaborated on a writing project recently.
Oh.
And it was the first time we'd ever done that, and it worked out really well.
Okay. Is something published?
No, it's actually a big secret. I can't tell you at the moment.
Okay. We are waiting. Do we have a favorite character in the cycle?
Probably Saphira. I like all of my characters to a certain degree, but Saphira is, she's Aragon's best friend.
And it's a special relationship between Aragon and Saphira. It's the first time in literature that such a relationship is so important, and it's a strange relationship, because it's a relationship between the human and the dragon. And he himself, he changes also, and so you had possibilities to develop something new.
Well, my thought with it was that they share each other's thoughts. They can hear each other's thoughts, and if you could hear someone else's thoughts, I think you would trust them to a degree that you would never be able to trust anyone else, and you would understand them to a degree you can't really understand anyone else in the real world. And it's a bit of an odd relationship, because Saphira in some ways is much younger than Aragon, and in other ways she's almost a mother figure to him at times.
Yes.
but they have an unconditional relationship there, where even if they were, even if they maybe bicker just a little bit now and then, if he's in danger, she's in danger, it doesn't matter, what they were saying, they'll put down their lives for each other. And I think growing up, I definitely wanted a friend like that myself, and so that was sort of the basis for Saphira.
Yes, but you had a little bit experience with your pets, with your and you could transport it into this description of Saphira, of the relationship. So you took from different experiences, probably. Because she's also a little bit the girlfriend for him, perhaps the first girlfriend.
Well, they're both in love with each other. They really are. And that's the difficult thing also, is that if either of them ever wants to pair up with someone else, if Eragon wants to have a real girlfriend, that girlfriend has to meet Saphira's approval as well. So, and that's a difficult thing, getting the approval of a dragon.
Oh, I think so. So that's what I thought reading Brisinger, that you could write forever. You could continue forever with
Tell
Eragon.
me about it.
Yes, the marriage. It's the 5th volume.
But I'll tell you the rule with stories like this. The story begins with or after the disruption of the natural order of the world. And in this story, the order has been Galbatorix ruling the land for 100 years, and the order is disrupted when Saphira's egg is transported to Eragon.
Yeah.
And the order, when the natural order of the world is restored or changed and altered into a new order, that's when the story will end. And it's possible I may come back to this world with a 5th book at some point, but it would not be the same story. It would be a new story in the same world.
In the new order, who is also often sensible to new waves, new changes, new developments. Also, if the new order is there, it's not forever, probably.
No. Well, I don't want to say too much, but if this other story that I have in my head, I have actually laid the groundwork for it within the series, so that if I were ever to write it, it would not seem as if it were tacked on, like, the author is just making stuff up so that he can keep writing in the world. No, it's an integral part of the world. It would be one book, though. It wouldn't be a series.
Yeah.